Peaceful protests in Bosnia have replaced the outbursts of anger and destruction of February the 7th. Ever more obvious poverty and the lack of action from successive governments since the war ended have pushed Bosnia towards revolt. In several cities, including Sarajevo, protests are now a daily event.
Nationalist blocs blossomed during the war from 1992 to 1995, and ever since then, Bosnians have been divided into ethnic communities: Muslims, Croats, and Serbs. 20 years on, we see that these divisions are still the reason why we're doomed. Nowadays, corruption, nepotism, and plundering reign supreme in our country.
Despite the resignation of 4 canton governments and several senior officials, federal power remains in place and protests have been stifled in the country's Serbian entity. To the south, in the canton of Mostar, the parliament and government buildings were set on fire, but no ministers resigned.
In the canton of Herzegovina-Neretva, also known as Mostar, we have a government of 12 ministers, including the Prime Minister, for a population of 230,000 people. It should be noted that the federal government and the municipalities are given power in the economic area. Municipalities are responsible at a local level, while the federation deals with larger projects.
Bosnia is administered by 13 governments with a total of 200 ministers, one for every 19,000 citizens. That doesn't include members of parliaments and local authorities. This is the highest administrative ratio in Europe and costs half of Bosnia's GDP. On top of that, it's inefficient, corrupt, and in the service of political parties. A nightmare.
I can't find any job anywhere. Although I'm skilled, it's very hard. You have to pay to get a job. For example, if I want to find a job as a cleaning lady for my wife, or something ordinary in a hospital or some administration, I'd have to give a backhander of 5,000 euros.
There may be only a few thousand demonstrators in the streets, but surveys show that 80% of the population agree with their demands and their desire for change. It remains to be seen whether this anger will be enough to overcome the ethnic divisions established during the war and change the political system in Bosnia.